Hello, and I'd like to start the show by welcoming you this morning in different languages. Now, the French would say bonjour, the Italians would say buongiorno, and of course the English say good morning. Welcome to another exciting edition of Wake Up Nigeria. 6 a.m. is the time, and 2 hours, 45 minutes of top-notch family entertainment is coming your way. So stay locked right there. Don't move. Okay, you know you're gonna move. Even if you have to move, we have some solutions for you because it's a bright new day here in the wonderful city of Lagos. Even though there's quite a lot going on around the world, we believe that being alive and staying alive is more than enough reason to be thankful. So this loaded edition is coming your way from right now. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Let's get started. Streaming options. I mentioned options for you earlier. You'll have the opportunity to stream live if you visit tvcentertainment.tv or facebook.com/TVC Connect. Yeah, we're streaming live on both platforms. And well, those comments, they give us life. They give us joy every morning. Make sure you send them in as soon as you can. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on all social media platforms so we can see you. There's something else for you to remember though. We have an app available for you to download from the Android or iOS store. Just make sure you visit, have it on your mobile devices, and you'll be able to see us from anywhere in the world. First up on the show today, we have our usual dose of Daily Vulnerables. Chude Jidongo, coming up in a bit.
You are responsible for the energy you bring to the world. So you are facing a situation and you are getting upset or you're getting bitter. And you're like, it is because people have been wicked to me. It's because they've been nasty to me.
And you know, we always say there's a... Then, with regards our health, we have a health segment. Dr. Dibia Edward Nze is the Chief Dental Officer at Deseret International Hospital. He's going to be joining us via Skype to talk about oral hygiene during this lockdown. Have you been taking care of your teeth? Or have you abandoned them like so many other things you've abandoned during this lockdown? We'll find out very soon. And then we'll take a trip around the world in 180 seconds. We have Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, South Africa coming your way. A very beautiful place that one day, when we're allowed to travel again, we might want to visit. On parenting today, expect Clara Kolade, who has many years' experience as a certified etiquette trainer, someone who's going to talk to us about rewarding, discipline, and punishment. With kids, that combo is very essential, but in what measure, we'll find out soon. Ifeyiwa Omisiete is a certified nutritionist, and she creates and introduces innovative recipes to improve a child's diet. Now, she'll be talking about immunity building for children. Now, we have a recipe courtesy of Chef Mike. Now, this is something you really need to try, and we hope you'll stay right there, stay tuned, and find out how to make it. Friend of the house and award-winning Nigerian filmmaker Joel Kachi Benson will join us via Skype for a chat. Yeah, good morning and welcome to the show. It's been an amazing few weeks, and finally, the whole state of Lagos was sort of let loose. When I say the whole state, I'm not talking about everybody. All of you who have been trying to just break out of the house finally found your way out yesterday. Well, there was quite a bit of traffic on the roads. A lot of the junctions still had some blockades. I'm talking about physical blockades, not personnel on the roads, causing traffic to, move at a snail's speed. The banks were quite full yesterday as well. Quite a lot of different things trending online. But all in all, we are gonna survive this. We have to really put in place some measures personally to make sure that we're doing everything we can to stay safe. Please remember, before you leave the house today, if you must leave at all, please take a mask with you. Make sure you wash your hands at every possible chance you get, and have with you an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. A lot of people are using gloves, but take note, even if you do have gloves on, as long as the surface of those gloves are contaminated and you touch any part of your face, you are still at risk. So that is something to put into consideration. I will be joined later on by Mike Mesikeno, and it's going to be an amazing show. The lineup today is really interesting, especially with regards nutrition. A lot of us who have been at home for quite a bit have been eating away our time. A few people started the lockdown with some workout sessions and exercise, but along the line, we all did become couch potatoes, didn't we? Yeah, admit it. I know I did. There are a few things we need to make sure we do to get back on track, and our nutritionist, the kid nutritionist, will be with us later on to help us, especially with regards to our kids. I'm going to be taking the news update right now, and it begins thus. A man, Olalekan Hamid, has been sentenced to death by hanging for the murder of one Jolasun Okunsanya in the first virtual court session to be held by the Lagos State Judiciary. Justice Mojisola Dada of the Ikeja High Court gave the judgment via the Zoom app. According to the Director of Public Affairs at the Ministry of Justice, Kayode Oyekomi, the court session also included the defendant, his team of counsel, and the prosecution team, led by the Lagos State Solicitor General, Ms. Titilayo Shitabe, as well as the Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Kazim Ologba, and the Lagos State Attorney General, Moyosore Onigbanjo. The judge declared her judgment that although the defendant went to the house of his victim, where the crime was committed with an intention to steal, the sudden stumbling upon him by the deceased led him to not just pushing her, but actually strangulating her in the bid to keep her from crying out. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, said the Central Bank of Nigeria should seize the opportunity of the coronavirus crisis to lower interest rates in a bid to boost the nation's economy. Tinubu also urged the federal government to demand a renegotiation of existing loans or debt relief from the World Bank and other development financial institutions. According to the former governor of Lagos State, the economic fallout from the coronavirus may present the most pressing case for revising CBN's high interest rate policy. The undue rates penalize domestic investment and consumer borrowing. APC national leader said the country must retreat from high interest rates. He adds that on one hand, high rates are used to scare domestic investment borrowing, thus undermining income, production and consumption. On the other hand, high interest rates are used to attract foreign creditors who must be repaid with an increasing percentage of our intake of dollars. Away from the coronavirus pandemic, the Nigerian government has received 311,797,886, let me take that again, $866 billion and 11 assets of General Sani Abacha's repatriated from the United States and the Bailiwick of Jersey. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, confirmed this on Monday in a statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations at his office. Dr. Omar Gwandu, according to Malami, the amount increased significantly from over $300 million mentioned in an earlier statement in February to over $311 million as a result of the interest that accrued from February 3rd to April 28th. He noted that the litigation process for the return of the assets titled Abacha 3 commenced in 2014, while the diplomatic process that culminated in the signing of the asset return agreement commenced in 2018. The agreement was signed on February 3rd by the governments of Nigeria, the United States, and Bailiwick of Jersey. An Assistant Commissioner of Police, Atiku Nagodi, is dead. Mr. Nagodi, who was the squadron commander, 9 Police Mobile Force, Kano, died on Monday. He is the latest victim of the strange deaths recorded in Kano in the last 3 weeks. The state has recorded an unusual increase in deaths since it's recorded its first coronavirus case in April. The governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, has denied that the deaths were linked to COVID-19. But while speaking at the inauguration of the mobile testing center donated by the Dangote Foundation, the governor had acknowledged that Kano is in trouble. He had said challenges in testing led to the escalation of the number of COVID-19 cases in the state. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control says it's now focusing a lot of its energies on Kano rather than Lagos in its coronavirus response. Kano, one of the most populated states in the country, struggled to test for COVID-19 in April and had a laboratory outbreak amid concerns hundreds were dying of a strange disease. The National Bureau of Statistics says that more than 82.9 million Nigerians are poor by national standards. The NBS, in a report on poverty and inequality from September 2018 to October 2019, said 40% of people in Nigeria live below the poverty line of 137,430 naira per annum. The data further reveals that in Nigeria, 40.1% of the total population are classified as poor. In other words, on average, 4 out of 10 individuals in Nigeria has real per capita expenditures below $381 per annum. The Statistics Office said it did not include Borno, the state worst hit by the decade-long Boko Haram insurgency, because many areas there were not safe to reach. According to the United Nations, a total of nearly 8 million people need humanitarian assistance across Borno and 2 neighboring states affected by the insurgency. Nigeria is the top oil exporter in Africa. Crude sales account for about 90% of government revenue. And that's it on the news updates for this hour. We'll be taking a quick break and return with sports news. Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us. Day 2 of the ease of lockdown. How's day 1? Hey, let us know. Social media, use the hashtag WakeUpNiger on TVC. Tweet to us at TVC Connect on Facebook also. What are your thoughts about yesterday? I mean, the videos and pictures flooded social media yesterday of many things happening. A lot of them not in the best interest when it comes to safety and, of course, caution. But
it was like someone just opened. I'm not trying to call people chickens, but a hen house. And you open a hen house, and everybody's like, woof. And so it caused quite a bit of traffic. There were some major junctions that were stiff, with traffic. And there were a lot of personnel that usually would be, catching people for other offenses, but just informing people to put on their mask. I kept seeing people in uniform saying this, just doing this at junctions. And it was really interesting to see that people were responding. So as soon as they see that officials are at the junction, they quickly put on their mask.
the same way some of us do with seatbelts. Talking about traffic, just something early this morning. So what happens is that heading towards Bega out of Lagos, I think when it got to the end, when it got to the time when the curfew started, the roads were blocked. Okay. So there's a line of trailers from all the way Bega down up until Otedola Bridge. This was as at 5:30 this morning.
Wow.
And then I do some under the bridge, heading inside CMD. There was this massive spillage of fuel, and a number of young men. I didn't see a lady. A number of young men were rushing there with jerry cans, and And I already saw some, speaking, I had to divert. I already saw some scooping fuel and all of that. They say, hey, come down, fuel don't fall. So I don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
If maybe a trailer fell over or what, or with the pipeline, whatever, I don't know. But the point is, that place, I hope that by now, because moving forward, I also met a stop. I also met a police, a boss and all of that. I was trying to sound out to them. But then I just hope something is done about that. That bridge has had too much of cases
it's a very odd corner, meaning that you can't really see what's happening down there until you've sort of...
You get in there, right?
Gone down there. That Otedola under bridge, over the bridge, it's just a very complicated corner to navigate. But please, talking about it now isn't for you to now take your own jerry can and go and meet them. No,
I'm sure that by now, some things should have happened. I'm sure that by now, And the same people, for those of you that went to banks yesterday, man.
Wow.
In fact, there's this particular bank where we're rushing in and broke the door and all of that. Like,
goodness.
It just all through social distance. Like, social distance would be like...
Throughout the window. And
like, it was the images were not just cool.
It was alarming. That's the word, alarming and scary. And
cool,
the sad part is we would probably only ever get to know the impact of, letting go of social distancing 10 to 14 days after.
You're right.
And honestly, some were still not wearing their masks.
You're right.
Some were still just being as close as, really. I actually saw someone holding hands yesterday. I've not seen people holding hands in a while.
So
it just looked odd to me.
Yeah, what happens? You see, the thing when you're being told about this thing, it's not just about yourself, your family also. Because, you see, a lot of us can't stay without physical contact with our loved ones. I mean, would a mother come back from work and not want to hug her daughters? Would a father come back from work and not want to hug his wife or something? So if you do contact it, you're looking at your family. I mean, we've had cases where somebody was tested positive and then the remaining members of the family. We can't keep away from our loved ones. It's very hard, So, when you get there, you get back home.
What I do now is I've already put a rule in place. As soon as I get to the door, no hugging, no touching, don't come near me. It's hard for my kids to not do it, but now they're getting used to it. It took a while. It took about 4 or 5 times before they could get... So they're like, Mommy is back, and then they jump in their spots, not coming to hug me, which is what I would love. But I would rather peel off everything, wash my hands, probably even take a shower in some cases, depending on where I've been, before even going near them. You just don't know. You have no clue. There's something someone told me. Somebody told me they got into one of those, should I call them online taxi cabs that started work yesterday. And the cab driver the first thing he did was put hand sanitizer in the lady's hand. And then when she got into the cab, there was a funny smell. And she was like, what's that smell? He was like, it's onions. I'm like, okay, why are there onions in the car? He was like, onions, it actually saps in any poison that's in the air. I was just laughing when I heard.
Onto something.
He might be onto something, but everybody is just taking extra care.
He might be onto something.
I don't know, but man, imagine being in a cab that smells like onions. Would you want
Maybe the
to
best
stay
one would be like fuel. Some weeks back, I was just with a friend. I was like, some of the people that are the least susceptible to this virus are mechanics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
So your average mechanic douses his hand in fuel, say at least like maybe 20 times a day.
Okay.
His clothes, first of all, are fuel and oil.
Okay.
And then, apart from that, once in a while they'll have to suck fuel.
Yeah.
So now when you look back, now they might have the effects of fuel, right? Might have, they might have the side effects later on in life, But that amount of fuel on their hands and all around them, man, like fuel is about one of the most corrosive things that you can get out there that is not acid, right? So I was just saying, so we're past with a mechanic and we're just like, mechanics now, they are very, very...
So just as they are, highly sanitized, they're also highly flammable.
Yeah.
That's the only other word they're highly
And then
found. So please don't go and douse yourself in
no,
fuel.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't.
But yeah, like, you know, I mean, some people had already started injecting themselves with bleach.
Oh, goodness me.
And
There are
then,
quite a lot of memes out there.
yeah, and
There was
all of that.
There's one particular bleach company. It's
Okay.
based in the US.
Okay.
It's a hashtag. I'll probably use it later on.
Okay.
And this hashtag, I saw the bottle of bleach and a hand grenade, and somebody taped the hand grenade to the bottle of bleach and put it outside in front of his neighbor's house. And the tag was, for when the neighbors start coughing. He was planning to throw a bomb of bleach into the house. So this is just all fun and games.
I saw another one also.
But-
This guy is outside, like in front of, he's upstairs in his house, and then there's a small gathering of like 5, 6 people outside.
Okay.
And he's called, looks out, and nobody wants to go out. And instead of going, go,
And everybody just moved.
but
Yeah.
you know, but that yesterday, but yesterday banking, I don't think people cared. So I was wondering, I spoke to a banker, a friend, and asked her why did people rush out to the banks that much, you know? But after some kind of research, I found out that, okay, so a number of people said that they had a lot of, I mean, considering that we've, internet and online banking has, you know, gone to quite an extent in the country. You know, a lot of people said they had issues with failed transactions and, you know, maybe cards to be replaced and all of that. Because I feel like there's a lot, I know that, yes, we're not all there. The platforms, they have their issues, quite a lot. I also had some issues with a lot of them that might have necessitated me to get to the banks. But the point is that we have gone quite some length when it comes to online banking. But a lot of people, how many people have access to the internet in Nigeria?
So it's actually expensive for many to use data. It's expensive for them to use it for every single transaction they have to make. Some people are making a lot more transactions than others.
So, but that's not excusing the crowd at the bank and the rush and all of that, because they're supposed, a lot of banks I know, you know, they have tape-ins on the ground, keep at least 2 feet away. 2 feet away and all of that from different people and all of that. Man, it was just, so if NCDC has stated that after review, that they will make a review, and if there is any need, the lockdown, we will have a second semester of lockdown. We just finished first semester. You know, so we'll have second semester of lockdown if we don't, if the cases spike and if guidelines are not followed.
Sadly, it feels like every single guideline was broken yesterday. You know, almost every single one. There were people that just wanted to open their shops just to even see what the inside of their shop looks like, just to clean it out. You know, the dust and dirt, all their, to see which of their products are still viable, which are they're no longer able to sell. You know, but not everybody would have made a sale yesterday.
No, sure.
But they just wanted to get out of the house, you know, to start
up something and all of that. So it's for me, it's a very delicate balance that has to be achieved here. You know, it's going to be very delicate. Yes, people need to go out. I mean, the economy cannot grant to a full stop, like an entire full stop, you know. But there's that balance. Some people are quoting Sweden and all of that. Oh, no, you don't just, you need to hear the name Sweden. This is Niger. This is Sweden. This is Sweden. You have a lockdown. Why do we need? And then there are some people that are still living in denial at this point. No. Coronavirus. Coronavirus is a scam.
I saw some these ladies hawking masks. The Ankara mask is now a thing now, and the person hawking the mask wasn't wearing a mask. I don't understand. You're selling a mask.
I've not seen those guys.
And you're not wearing a mask?
I've not seen those guys how to make 2 million in 1 week.
Wow.
In the bus that they're selling it.
Wow.
And they don't look like they have 200 naira. Have they read their book?
Oh, goodness me.
No,
then
that's
the candle test. Have you heard about the candle test, right?
Which one?
So apparently to find out if your mask is effective in, you know, keeping out a high percentage of viruses, right? Okay. You need to blow out a candle. If you can blow out the flame of a candle while your mask is on, it means that your mask is not effective. So if you have a mask and you can blow out a flame with it, your mask is not effective enough. So you should try that out. If you have candles at home and you want to try that out, you should. For me and mine, I'm going to be doubling my own masks at this point.
All right?
We're going to be back after a quick break, though. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.
I talked a bit about dealing with anger, and I always say that you are responsible for the energy you bring to the world. So you are facing a situation and you are getting upset or you're getting bitter, and you're like, it is because people have been wicked to me, it's because they've been nasty to me. But at the same time as you are reacting in that way, there are other people in the world who are going through the exact same problem that you are going through. And they are not doing it the way you are doing it. They're not reacting with jealousy, they're not reacting with bitterness, they're not reacting with pride and arrogance, they're not reacting with malevolence. There are other people who are facing that same situation, and they are handling it in a better way. So if you are handling it in a bad way, if you are handling it with anger, with bitterness, with envy, then you are the one bringing that energy into the room. You are the one. You are the one making a choice to react in a certain way to a certain situation. And since you are the one making that choice, you can always make another choice. You can always say, no matter what happens today, this is how I'm going to show up. And then you show up in that way. Because nobody else is responsible for the energy that you bring into a room. You alone make the choice as to how you want to show up. It's something for you to note as you go around the world doing your business today.
Yeah.
If you are just joining us, the second lap of the show is what you are on to. You've missed the whole first lap, but hey, come on. There's still more to come. You haven't missed so much. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and it's great to have you this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday morning. Of course, 1 hour, 45 more minutes to go. Now, that's quite a lot of time to catch fun.
As you know, we are that breath of refreshment and the only breakfast show that offers you a variety of top-notch family entertainment.
Now, of course, we try to do everything within our power to ensure that you have a beautiful day. Now that lockdown has been eased, we are now ready to kick off your day. Those days I'll call some people by 10 and you're still waking up. 10 o'clock. I finished my show, you are still sleeping. What's doing you? But now, your time, your body clock is resetting. Well,
it has to. Back to work for many. But please stay as safe as you can by staying home if you don't have to go out. Please maintain social distancing and wash your hands as many times as you can. Maybe every hour, just look at the top of, whenever it's the top of the hour, just go wash your hands just to be safe.
The fight against the virus is still on. And the lockdown has been eased, or it's been eased gradually. Doesn't necessarily mean that everything is okay. So your mask, everything, just still maintain all the precautions and the guidelines that are necessary to fight in this time.
My name is Titilayo Onyinson.
Mike Mesikeno is mine. It's great to have you. Stream with us live, tvcentertainment.tv. That's our website. On Facebook, it's at TVC Connect.
Yeah. We have an amazing app available for you to download. You can always get it on Android or iOS. And with that app, you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Okay, so for now, there is not yet a restriction, or as broadcasters, we don't have to.
Yeah.
We're not
supposed to wear it on air.
Masks on air.
Yeah.
But we got some masks. Right?
Yeah, we did. We'll be mentioning her name in just a bit. The lady that sent them in is so sweet. Honestly, we need to thank her. But let's tell everyone what we're doing on the show first. We have the health segment coming up very soon. We have Dr. Dibia Edward Nze, the Chief Dental Officer at Deseret International Hospital, joining us via Skype to talk about oral hygiene. And of course, for a trip around the world.
We're going around the world in 3 minutes, 180 seconds. This is one segment you definitely don't want to miss.
Then on parenting, please expect Clara Kolade, who has many years' experience as a certified etiquette trainer, and she'll be talking to us about reward, discipline, and punishment when it comes to our kids.
We have Ifeanyiwa Omesiete. Now she's a nutritionist, a certified one at that, and she creates and introduces innovative recipes to improve a child's diet. We'll have a discussion about immunity building for children.
And then we have a recipe courtesy Chef Mike. Not this Mike here. No, not this one. The Chef Mike is going to be giving us something to look forward to. Maybe we could try it on, maybe try it at home later on. And that looks like potato. What is that?
Girl, that's thyme. That's some salt, and we're going to add some butter. And after the butter, we have some cinnamon
Don't
powder.
worry, it's not this
and
Mike.
an egg yolk.
You know what? Let's tell everybody else
we
what
probably
is
have
happening.
mashed potatoes, and of course we have smashed till it's soft to mold. And woo!
Really, Mike?
Ooh, that's it. That's what's up.
You
Now,
hungry this morning?
Yeah, we have a filmmaker, Joel Kachi Benson. He is going to join us via Skype for a chat. Let's see what he's been up to, of course, after his award-winning documentary.
All right. Yeah, so we mentioned the masks earlier, and you know, I did mention the texture of the masks earlier, and I was like, this is like a really firm texture. It's breathable fabric, and it's the right shape. So there are some that are not really the right shape, but this is the sort of shape you're aiming for, you know, something that's comfortable around your ears, you know, covers your face right round. A big shout out to Lucy Ayim, 2828 Insights Fashion. That's some amazing woman who has put together some masks and sent them to us at TVC. A big shout out to her, Lucy Ayim from 2828 Insights Fashion. So let's see how this looks, right? Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I have some good coverage there. As you can see, my nose is covered, my lips, my chin, it's all, and it's comfortable, so I don't have to keep touching it to take it on and off in case it's
So for those
falling off.
that
Yeah.
it's not bed mask. I see some people now, they use it and, you know, like, is it your baby I try to save from the virus? Is your nose and your mouth and all of that? So hey, come on, ensure that it's always on. Except, you know, I was listening to the governor of New York, Cuomo, who said something. He said, look, he said, be responsible and be where the only time probably when you are somewhere alone in a wide space, you can take it off. But the moment somebody is approaching you,
Put on your mask. Yeah?
okay, all right. But then it's time for us to take a look at the news this morning.
Yes, it's time for the news update right now. The number of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria continues to rise. The country now has 2,802 cases after recording an additional 245 new cases on Monday night. Lagos had 76 cases, Katsina 37, Jigawa 32, Kano 23, FCT 19, Borno 18, Edo 10, Bauchi 9, Adamawa 6, Oyo and Ogun had 4 recorded each, while Ekiti, Osun, Benue, Niger, Zamfara all recorded 1 case respectively. 417 people have now been discharged after recovery, while those who have died from COVID-19 related complications number 93. Many countries of the world are suspending strict restrictions occasioned by coronavirus pandemic. Monday was the first day of gradual easing of lockdown in Nigeria, as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. In Lagos, Abimbola Agbebi reports mixed reactions from the people, raising concerns of a possible spike.
Monday, the 4th of May, finally arrived. Trust residents of Lagos, they trooped out in their numbers after weeks of lockdown on the city. The regular traffic returned. Businesses also resumed in full swing. The battle in the last few months has been against the deadly virus, a global pandemic that countries are yet to find a cure. But in the meantime, life must go on, but not without precautions.
We actually want to measure how people reflect and react to the unlocking.
Guidelines for the relaxation of lockdown had been ruled out by the Lagos governor a few days ago, but the compliance level has only been a little above average.
They are not complying at all. They carry like normal.
They don't increase the transport fare. It's very normal. They carry as usual normal. Yeah, there's a 80% compliance because I've moved from Ikorodu garage to Oshodi to Obalende down to here now. I've moved inside that barrier. So particularly those tricycle operators.
On the use of the face masks, Lagos residents have done well in keeping to this directive. But on the rule of social distancing, adherence to the order is relative. Though transporters made efforts to enforce the directive at major bus terminals, Lagos residents believe they can do more.
If you can see, you will see that there are a lot of movement and they were filled up like as usual. So they're still filled to take more than the necessary passengers that they are supposed to take. So there's no compliance, but I think people can decide to, like I did, pay for 2 seats so that creates space so that it will enhance social distancing.
There was a man that boarded our own bus and the man was not putting on face mask. So they have to stop the driver and enforce the law. So they parked us for about 30 minutes.
It's for our own good. We can see the pandemic is killing all around now. It's a disease that cannot be seen. So I'm just employing all my union members as well to just make sure they use their nose guard, make use of the sanitizer, and make all the environment to be tight.
The population of the people who hit the streets may be nothing compared to the size the city is known for. Nigerians have this to say about the fear of a spike in the number of new infections.
So far, it's been mixed reactions from residents of Lagos on the level of compliance on the new guidelines ruled out by the state governor on the ease of lockdown. Nigerians are waiting to see what events would unfold in coming days. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
And that's all we have time for on the news update for now. I think it's about time for us to take some fitness. Yeah, we all need some exercise. Let's see.
Yeah, how you doing, people? My name is Dr. Dike, and we have to help you to keep fit while staying at home. That's why we are doing this workout from our house. I'm working out from the gym right now, so we are doing this because of you. So today we are going to be working mostly on our arms, our back, and on our legs, just for a few minutes. Okay? So this is how we start. First, you have to stay together. Put your legs together. Now stay down like that. Stay down. Leave your hand like that. Keep your hand like that. Keep it out like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then take it back. Start to relax on the leg. Take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you go again. Just 2 steps. Then you go. Bring down your wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then take it back again. Relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember I told you that we're going to be working on our legs, our waist, and our arms. So this time I'll raise the leg up. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you take it back, relax on the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you go, take it back. We have 2 sets more to go. So you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you move back, relax the leg. We have 1 set more to go. Then you go 1, 2. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you relax back. Now when you do such thing, try and stretch. stretch your arms. After stretching your arms, then you go. Raise the two legs up. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you relax the leg back. Try to stretch the knees again. Stretch yourself. Then you go back again. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You relax back again. Relax back again. You stretch your arms. Stretch your waist. Stretch it. Then you go again. Then you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then back down. Stretch it. 1, 2, 3. We have one more set on the press up. And this time you go again. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You take it up. You take it up. Try to stretch your arms. Stretch your arms. Then lift your leg where it is. Then you can go stretch it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other leg, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other one, you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other leg, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the other one, the last 10, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the other leg, you go again 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you take it up, stretch yourself, stretch yourself. Then this time around you go. I told you we're working on our legs, our arms, about that. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you lean back to catch your breath. Relax the hand again. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have one more set to go. Just relax yourself. Then you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now remember, I said we're going to be working on our waist. So many of us, we sat down at home and we're feeling a lot of back pains. So you stretch it. 1, take it back. 2, take it back. 3, take it back. 4, and 5. So you wait. We have one more set to go on that one. So you go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, remember what I said. You can as well count 50, 60, it depends on you. The whole idea is you must always exercise, even while being at home. My name is Dr. DK. You can follow me on my Instagram page at lookgood.com. That's lookgood, DOTCOM_. From there you watch my live videos. Don't forget, this is TBC.
Welcome back. It's about time for us to have a conversation with a doctor. Yes, our health segment is about to begin. Right now, we have standing by Dr. Dibia Edward Nze. He is the Chief Dental Officer at Deseret International Hospital, and he is also a content creator on social media. He is a handler of the Nigerian Dental Association as well. He's joining us via Skype. Hi, Doc.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. With regards our dental health, Doctor, this past lockdown must have had a major impact. First of all, did you open up your dental surgery during the lockdown?
A lot of us do not open. We have just very few centers around the states that are opened, mostly tertiary centers, and all they respond to are emergencies.
Okay, so was there a reason for that? What was the reason why?
Well, we all know that COVID is taking over the whole world. And as dentists, we fall under the group of doctors that are most at risk, seeing as we work almost all the time inside the mouth. And
it must have been, so alarming to, be receiving all these cases during the lockdown. But what were the most common cases that you were hearing about?
So we had so many people call for cases of toothache. Some called for cases of bleeding gums. Others just wanted to do their routine dental checks.
Okay. But what do we need to look out for right now? There are still a lot of people that are at home, even though the lockdown has been eased up. But what are the most important things to do now that you have a little bit more time on your hands to take care of your dental health?
Yes, having a little bit more time on your hands is quite of an irony. I would explain shortly. So a lot of people's sleep patterns have been distorted, meaning that there are so many people who stay up almost all through the night. And what happens when you're staying up all through the night? You get hungry, you get bored, you want to snack on something. So we find that a lot of people are eating so many snacks at times of the day where they should not be eating anything. And that has resulted into them having toothaches, bleeding gums, and a whole lot of other dental problems. So we need to emphasize on proper oral hygiene and oral hygiene practices around this COVID period.
Okay, so, the fact that COVID-19 has been said to be transmitted through droplets, meaning that from the mouth, from the nose and all that, I actually heard that some people were brushing their teeth more, right? To sort of, because they're cleaning their hands, they're washing their faces, and people were actually brushing their teeth more. Did you hear about this, and why do you think that would be?
Yes, I heard about it, and there is some scientific sense to what they have proposed. So the same kind of detergents that you find in your normal hand washes is the same kind of detergent you find in your toothpaste. It's called sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS.
Okay.
Now, the idea is if you brush just before doing a dental procedure, it reduces the amount of bacteria and other microorganisms that are inherent in the mouth at that time. So yes, there is some scientific sense.
Okay.
However, a lot of people will cough, a lot of people will sneeze, and that still puts the patients and even the dentist at risk during these procedures.
Okay, so for those that are probably watching and probably meeting a dentist for the first time, believe it or not, what are the basic things that every individual needs to do to take care of their teeth?
First thing, every individual needs to remember to brush their teeth at least twice a day. When we say twice a day, there is no particular time frame to it. However, the second time of the day you should be brushing should be just before bed.
Okay.
Meaning that once you have brushed at night, nothing else should go into your mouth. Very, very important. But that's a little bit difficult to enforce at this COVID period, because a lot of people do not even have particular bedtimes any longer. They are streaming movies, social media until they fall asleep, and they end up forgetting with a lot of sugar in their mouths.
Speaking of sugar, there are quite a lot of people that know that sugar leads to tooth decay, but why exactly is it that sweet things are bad for the teeth?
So, the microorganisms that cause tooth decay are living things. And the same way we need sugar in our own body to perform is the same way your microorganisms need sugar to also perform. And guess what? During this COVID period, you've been giving them a lot of buffet.
You've basically been feeding the bacteria that causes tooth decay. So now
We have.
So now you said earlier that it's about brushing your teeth and all that. Are there any other measures that people can put in place right now?
Yes, so we encourage flossing. For those who do not know, flossing is healthier than using a toothpick.
Okay.
Now, for every time you eat, the chances that food will get stuck in between your teeth is very high. So let's take, for example, I just finished eating turkey.
Okay.
And I have bits of it stuck in between my teeth.
Okay.
I'm encouraged to floss. Because if I brush at that time, I might not get all of the bits of the meat out of my teeth. So here is what a dental floss looks like. There are other types, but this is the type we recommend right now. Because it has a handle and you do not use your hands to touch your mouth, which we know is one of the precautions that we should take during this COVID period. So how do you floss? You take, let's assume this is your mouth. You just gently put the thread-like part of the floss in between your tooth. Gently press on one end and then pull out again. You do that for all of your teeth, and you're sure to get all of the food particles that are stuck in between your teeth. You're sure to get them out. Another thing you should want to do is you want to drink lots of water around this period.
Okay.
Lots of water would help rinse your mouth, seeing as a lot of us take soft drinks, juice, and a whole lot of things. You also want to maybe take...
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah. So,
okay, are you there? Go ahead.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I think the network was just fluctuating.
Okay.
One of the things you also want to do is you want to use a mouthwash. However, the mouthwash does not replace the physical action of the toothbrushing.
Okay.
So don't say you're too tired at night and all you do is gargle a mouthwash and go to bed. You would have done very little to help your oral hygiene.
All right, doctor, thank you so much for that. I have to say, a lot of people haven't really been thinking about their teeth. They've been thinking about their hands and their faces. And, you know, they've been covering their mouths as opposed to cleaning their mouths at all. There are obviously some consequences to not brushing your teeth regularly. For those who have probably forgotten the day of the week and probably forgotten where their toothbrush is right now, what are the things that those people should look forward to not brushing their teeth?
So now that we are all using face masks when we go out, I was seeing on social media that everybody would be attacked first by their own bad breath. So you get a first-hand experience of what you have been giving others. Another thing is...
Did you just say you're giving yourself a taste of what you've been giving others?
Exactly. So you get an idea of, wow, my breath is really, really bad. Is this what other people have been suffering? And that should prompt you to seek better oral hygiene practices.
Doctor, I don't think you could have put it in in any better way. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. We'll be seeing you, hopefully again next week. Yes, so brushing your teeth is highly essential, as many doctors have told you. And if you haven't brushed your teeth yet, maybe that's your cue to get up and go do that right now. But we have to take a quick break. There's still quite a bit happening on Wake Up Nigeria.
It is time to go on a 180-second travel to one of the most popular tourist sites in Southern Africa. Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, also known as V&A Waterfront. is situated on the Atlantic shore, Table Bay Harbour, in the city of Cape Town, South Africa. Being the country's oldest working harbour, the area has been developed for mixed use with both residential and commercial real estate. V&A Waterfront houses over 450 retail outlets, including fashion, homeware, tool jewelry, leather goods, and audio-visual equipment. It is still a working harbour, and fishing boats bring in fresh fish, and larger container ships are towed in by tugboats. The waterfront attracts more than 23 million visitors a year and is home to other attractions. Woo, wow! These attractions include Siobhan's Battery, the Nelson Mandela Gateway to Robben Island, the Zelt Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, Breakwater Lodge, Nobel Square, and Two Oceans Aquarium. A number of fun things you can do at V&A include helicopter flights with extreme steam, diving at the Two Oceans Aquarium, clay pigeon shooting cruise, and so many more. So, when next you take a stop at South Africa, do remember to go on a happy adventure at Victoria and Alfred Waterfront. That's it on 180 Seconds Travel. Until next time, keep seeing the world.
Now the point is that whenever international travel restrictions are lifted, there you definitely have a plethora of options, of places that you can go to. So yeah, just take note, just put that down, 180 seconds where you can visit. All right, now we have parenting up next, and Clara Kolade, of course, has many years of experience in the parenting circle. Now, she is a certified etiquette trainer, an engaging speaker, and a mother who is passionate about sound parenting. She is the chief facilitator of the Exigo Finishing School, and she will be talking to us about reward, discipline, and punishment for children. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Clara. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
All right, all right. So the second day of the ease of lockdown, were you able to go? Did you go out yesterday?
No, I did not.
Okay, was that intentional?
Yes,
was
it is, because I said I don't know what the outside will look like, and I'm happy I did not.
So how long are you planning to stay back at home?
I want to see the direction of the government, because what I saw on news channels yesterday were not too encouraging. So I want to see the direction of the government, if they are going to do something to slow down moving around or something. But I think it's still not safe to venture out yet.
All right, talking about encouraging, we're going to do some encouragement here when it comes to parenting today, talking about discipline, of course, and reward. Now, that's something that can be quite dicey for a lot of parents, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, my thoughts, first and foremost, parenting is about you, the parent, not the child. You really have to get hold on your emotions when you're raising a child. So, because half of the time we live our inadequacies, we let our inadequacies, our fear, show on our children when we're trying to raise them. So you need to get a grip on your emotion when you are raising people and when you are raising children. It is very important. That is the first leg. Once you can get hold of your emotion, raise the child you have, not the child that you want. Raise the child you have, not the child you want. Like all of us as parents, we want to have children. That's the truth. It's not possible. It's unrealistic.
Yeah, Clara, just before you go on, I love what you said. Raise the child that you have, that you have, not the one you want. Can you expatiate a bit on that statement? Because so people might not be able to get it exactly as others. What do you exactly mean by raising the child that you have and not the one that you want?
Absolutely. I tell parents, there's a need for you to know the child and let the child know you. You can have 2 children, and you need to test it. Is this child an extrovert? Is this child an introvert? And you have to raise these 2 personalities differently. Know this child, and first and foremost, model good behavior. When you want to raise children, the way you say things, how you say things, even how you treat people, once you model good behavior, 50% of the job is done. You know, this child, for instance, is an extrovert. You need to put some stimuli that will excite him all the time, because if the environment is dull, he will come back to say, it's boring. Know the child and let the child know you. Don't keep shifting the goalpost for any reason. You have to be firm and clear about your intention. And that's why I say parenting is intentional. You have to be intentional about everything. For instance, modeling good behavior. You are the type that you speak to the household anyhow, anything. You say things to them, you bring them down, you say all sorts of things, even for the smallest of mistakes. And you tell your child you have to respect people. You say that it's not as compliment as what you're teaching. It's even what you depict, your action, your behavior that speaks louder to the child than what you say with your mouth. Okay, be hygienic. You need to be prim and proper. You need to make sure that your environment is clean. And you're driving the child in a car, and you finish eating granite, and you put it on the road. You just wind down the car door, and you just throw it. It's not the same thing.
So
you
now,
really have to know people. Yes, please.
all right, now we've seen, you just made mention of something now, you're driving in a car and then you throw something. A lot of parents feel like, I can talk to my children, they should listen to what I say, but they don't understand that at times, these kids even learn more from what we do than what we say.
Yes.
How can parents put some emphasis on what they do? Because at times, these things that they do without even knowing that their kids are watching them. How can they, should I say, check themselves in that regard?
Yes, parents will have to be intentional, because you are raising another human being. You have to be intentional. For instance, you are driving, you make sure even if somebody veers in front of you, you are not cursing. You make sure that you're not leaving the ground. And there are teachable moments. You tell, maybe if the child throws something out of the window of the car, you say to the child, you say, look at that woman. She's the one sweeping the street. Why are you giving her extra burden? You know, half of the time, it's discipline that we need, not punishment. And what is discipline? This discipline essentially is training someone to obey a certain code of conduct. So it's just discipline we need. Discipline yourself even as a parent. You know that somebody is watching, this child is watching. And you know, because this child is living with you, there's this unguarded moment when you don't even know you sleep. So it means you have to be intentional all the time. Talk to people, tell children that, look, you have to respect everyone, whether the people, anybody at all, you have to show respect. It is very important that we do that. Because if you discipline, because when you're trying to discipline is that you're teaching somebody this is how you conduct your affairs. If you teach and you bring home and the child imbibes it, you may not need to go down the path of punishment at all. Because the child knows what is expected of him. And he is going to tell the lie. But it means you have to be intentional. Parenting is not a dash, it's a marathon.
It's a marathon. Now it has. There's the age-old challenge has been the one about time. You spoke about being intentional about parenting, and that's one line that has reverberated through your whole message today. Parenthood. A lot of parents now. We have a lot of working-class parents where both parents go out and all of that, and in that particular scenario, they leave the raising of a child to maybe maids, to care homes, some of them to creche and all of that. They have to go out. In these particular situations where they might give the excuse of time when it comes to intentional parenting, how can they go around such a challenge?
You know, I always tell parents, especially if I stay here and I say to you that parenting in the 21st century is not hard, I'll be saying, I'll be lying to you. I'll be living in a dark world. It is difficult. But you have to cultivate, you have to look, you have to check, you have to create the time. You see, you know something, whatever holds dear to your heart, you create time for.
Yes, you do.
Parenting. Whatever holds true to you, whatever your values. I tell parents, especially young parents, first and foremost, sit and design your family values. This crèche that I'm taking my child to, what they do there, does it agree with my family values? Even when you're doing school search, make sure the school you're taking your child to has almost the same values as you are. Even that school, people lie a lot, and your strongest value is honesty. If you take that child to that environment, you will lie. Then apart from that, when you come back, it's not in the quantity of time, it's in the quality. When you come back, if it is 3 minutes, make sure you're checking. You know what happens to children if they know that you're not checking? They always like to take boundaries. If they know you're not checking, they will go and come as they please. So make sure that you're checking. If it's a set day that you have an hour, maximize that hour. You have to go out to earn a living, to earn a living. We all agree. And there's so many things that are seeking children's attention in the 21st century. The
Wonderful.
internet is there. The
Wonderful.
is there. You have the posters. You have jingles that are constantly in the faces of these children. So you have to come back as a parent and say, look, yes, you are contending with this, but this is the proper way to do things.
All right, Clara, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been quite an enlightening session. I know you still have so much to talk. We can and we should definitely continue this discussion, but we have to go now. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, we're back, and even during the hard times, we pray that all things remain bright and beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us in the third hour of Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, we're expecting that the light at the end of the tunnel is even much more closer than we see now. But hey, come on, that's why we always do our best to get you that spark to start up your day. You know, we know that our most markets are open Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So today, you might not be going out as you went out yesterday. I know Computer Village and some other places and all of that. Yeah. But hey, come on, we're here to ensure that you go past and through those tough times. Yeah.
Things will definitely turn around. That's why we ensure that we touch your life and try and make a difference every single day. It's 45 minutes left for us to spend with you. Let's make it count, shall we?
Yeah, definitely. I am Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Onyison. Stream with us live, or stream us live on tvcentertainment.tv. That's our website. And of course, facebook.com/TVC Connect.
Now, let us know what you think about yesterday's ease of lockdown, how people went out. Also, some people are already out on the road today because there's traffic in some places. What do you think should be done? Do you think that we should call for a total lockdown once again? The NCDC, of course, has given recommendations that they might do that if the cases spike more than is expected.
Is it really a case of if now? Is it an
yes,
if case?
Yes, probably,
right now?
probably. Yeah, if. Let's try to be as
optimistic
as we can be. So let's say if, you know, it's looking like there might be an explosion, but we hope there is no explosion. New York is a kind of a reminder, stark warning, and reminder at the same time that we should not get close to that. You can download our app. It's available on Android and iOS stores, and you can watch us and interact with us via the app.
Yes, indeed. So that recipe we've been talking about all day is coming your way very soon. Chef Mike will be bringing a special recipe for us to try very soon.
Okay, teaspoon of butter.
It's all about the
cinnamon
food.
powder.
Oof.
Egg yolk.
Just the yolk, not white.
And maybe some oil at the end of it all. After mashing till it's soft, and of course some oil.
Yeah, that looks good.
After all this, we'll wrap up the show.
With a friend of the house, we're gonna have award-winning Nigerian filmmaker Joel Kachi Benson joining us via Skype for a chat. It's been interesting the way people are taking, they say people are never really satisfied. People were complaining that the lockdown was too long, and now on social media, everybody's like, why did you let us out? So it's always a double-edged sword, especially with social media, but people need to be very careful the information that they share. We've had so many cases where false information is being forwarded and posted. There was actually a particular bank that was posted, and from the usual architecture of that bank, it was obvious that the bank named in the caption was not the bank in the picture. Do you remember seeing that picture, Mike?
Yeah.
There was a bank in the picture and then
the
a
first thing
different
I would
bank
say
in the
when
caption.
when it comes to fake news, there's a rule of thumb which is very, very, very easy, right? There are respected channels. When I mean respected channels, I'm talking about TV channels. Respected channels or media where you can get information. There are some people that you expect that when they do, people that have been there for a while, people who have the pedigree, they've proved over time, they've proven that they are there in the field. You don't just go and because somebody puts up a domain name. Some domain names, you don't even know it. Okay, someone gets a story, send me the link. You don't even know the domain name. Somebody put pointofinterest.com and writes up something and you take it as testament or something. No. So one very, very easy way to spread out fake news that can help yourself, you go to verified media handles and channels and all of that. The ones you know, if there are 2 or 3 wherever you are, stick to those ones. If it's true, to come to them. They'll get out to you.
All right. And with that, we have to take the news update right now. And it says, the number of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria continues to rise. The country has now 2,802 cases after recording an additional 245 new cases on Monday night. Lagos had 76 cases, Katsina 37, Jigawa 32, Kano 23, FCT 19, Borno 18, Edo 10, Bauchi 9, Adamawa 6, Oyo and Ogun each recorded 5 new cases, while Ekiti, Osun, Benue, Niger, Zamfara all recorded 1 case respectively. 417 people have now been discharged after recovery, while those who have died from COVID-19 related complications number 93. Commuters on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway are in for another traffic-jammed day. The cause of the traffic was a roadblock mounted at Bega to monitor interstate movement, but a tanker conveying fuel also spilled its contents by the Otedola Bridge, making it impossible for vehicles to move. And now the roadblock mounted outbound Lagos has been removed. The traffic is yet to ease. Motorists are advised to use alternative routes to avoid potential danger on the Otedola Bridge. Emergency responders are at the scene trying to evacuate the tanker as we speak. A man, Olalekan Hamid, has been sentenced to death by hanging for the murder of one Jolasun Okunsoya in the first virtual court session to be held by the Lagos State Judiciary. Justice Mojisola Dada of the Ikeja High Court gave the judgment via the Zoom app. According to the Director of Public Affairs at the Ministry of Justice, Kayode Oyekomi, the court session also included the defendant, his team of counsel, and the prosecution team led by the Lagos State Solicitor General, Mrs. Titilayo Shitabe, as well as the Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Kazeem Ologba, and the Lagos State Attorney General Moyosore Onigbanjo. The judge declared in her judgment that although the defendant went to the house of his victim where the crime was committed with an intention to steal, the sudden stumbling upon him by the deceased led him to not just pushing her, but actually strangulating her in a bid to keep her from crying out. Away from the coronavirus pandemic, the Nigerian government has received $311,797,866 and 11 assets of General Sani Abacha repatriated from the United States and the Bailiwick of Jersey. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, confirmed this on Monday in a statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations at his office, Dr. Umar Gwandu. According to Malami, the amount increased significantly from over $308 million mentioned in an earlier statement in February to over $311 million as a result of the interest that accrued from February 3rd to April 28th. He noted that the litigation process for the return of the assets titled Abacha 3 commenced in 2014, while the diplomatic process that culminated in the signing of the asset return agreement commenced in 2018. The agreement was signed on February 3rd by the governments of Nigeria, the United States, and the Bailiwick of Jersey. And that's all we have time for on the news for today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Today we'll be preparing tule pocket potato served with breaded sausage. Hope you get to learn one or two things in this video. Thank you.
All right, hope you're able to glean something there. Now we have quite a lot of comments on that video yesterday. we put up on social media, and we put up that post that's saying what happened in Lagos after lockdown. Restrictions were eased in Lagos and Abuja, and we can say things are not looking good. What are your thoughts, of course? So that's the video. That's the video that you definitely can see now, and the crowd is just something else, right? You can see that video now. The crowd is something else. The crowd is something else. Now that's, wow. Okay, so this should be the bridge, the Niger Bridge, of course, but then at different points here. And this is a BRT park. Now this is a bank, a branch of a bank. The crowd is just something else. You see? Look at this, look at this, look at this. This was yesterday. I know a number. So some places it seemed like the rule was obeyed, but then in some other places not as much. Like here, this is a branch in Ogba, and of course this should be looking like inside Unilag. Yeah, this is that branch, and I mean there is no social distance in here. This is harmful. This is harmful. This is harmful. Okay, now let's take a look at your comments under all of this. And at Lola says the reality is hunger versus virus. I agree. At times it is either can kill. The virus can kill, right? Hunger will definitely kill you if it's not sorted out, right? He says, but people will want to work on the hunger first before thinking about the virus. We have never been here before. That is very true, which is why I think we should listen, since we have never been here before. At Olanusi Akin says, in Lagos, the landmass is much more lesser than the crowded population. Very true. It's an overcrowded state. And coupled with inadequate infrastructures, it is expected that social distancing will be hard to observe. Quite true. However, Lagosians should be very careful at this time. I agree with you there. At Akin, wonderful submission there. And this is Adekunle GG. I don't know if that's gold for you, but it says, during the lockdown, Lagos has 90 cases. Many Nigerians doubt corona even when they knew it exists due to lack of transparency. Show the theater or lab where tests are being conducted. Show the people on bed in Blonde Peak. We watch other countries. Oh, yeah, for crying out loud. We even showed it this morning. Are you watching? Aye? Madikuli, are you watching? We showed it this morning. We've had reports. Check out TVC News. A number of times we've gone to the isolation centers. In Yaba, of course, the test center, and of course at Onikon, Mobolaji Johnson Arena. We've been there. We've had patients there who are self-isolating talk to the general public. So it's also there. You can check out online. So it's not just, if that is the proof, if that is proof enough for you that coronavirus exists, then we definitely have that proof, okay? Okay, some people are here spreading conspiracy theories. I had to skip past that comment. Do not, I mean, we're not here to doubt numbers. You are here doubting numbers, and look, that's not what we're here for. Okay, there's quite a lot of here that I would not be able to take. Okay, yeah, this is Adekunle still says a lot of Nigerians can't afford the normal healthcare charges. We could say 65% of Nigerians are already sick and been managing flu, tuberculosis, and other crazy viruses that are same symptoms with coronavirus. If you go to General Hospital, they give you a paper. Okay, he goes on to say that about how Nigerians are, helping themselves as much as possible, boosting their immune system and all of that. Okay, all right, and this is at Waju Baba 0 says, this is just a clear indication that another lockdown in Lagos is inevitable. Probably that is quite true. Well, it's quite true. Okay, Boogie 57663-119 says, the easing of the lockdown was wrong. The funds for palliatives was... Okay, quite interesting take there. At Bisu Sami says, it's obvious people need money to survive. if federal government can do the needful, I'm sure we won't have much of this. Definitely lockdown will continue, but can people cope in that situation? Again, that is very true. Your concerns are valid. Can people cope? Hopefully, I made mention of my community where a number of people, the elders as it were, came together to provide palliatives for the rest of the community. This is what they did. They came together. We have a landlord association. So the food, the items were given to the landlords, who now, in that order, disseminated or shared the relief materials amongst their tenants, which was quite good. There was an order about it. It came to my door, and that's something that we all can learn from. It was quite good, and kudos for that one, right? And okay, and this is Omonigo says, I think we'll be shocked by the numbers next week. And NCDC chairman has stylishly said lockdown will be introduced. Yes, I like that. I like the way he has stylishly said it. So just be prepared. My point is, it's more or less like a test. Like I said, it's a delicate balance between shutting down the economy entirely, which is almost impossible, and then also making sure that people have, people are maintaining the safety guidelines. So it's quite a balance. And on the evidence of what we saw yesterday, it's not looking good. It's looking like we might be unable to manage ourselves as it is. Demorash 009 says, I fear for our lives. The number is going to increase drastically. Okay. Adams 2011 says the cases in Lagos will at least triple in 2 weeks' time. Definitely, there will be another lockdown, no doubt. That is from Ngozi 2020. Isa David Sadiq says, if you provide essentials for people, they will not see tangible reasons to go out. And Kilala says, true talk. Okay, quite a lot here. And there's quite a lot. It's going on. Okay, so, yeah, thank you for engaging with us on our social media segment. Thank you for your contributions. Like we said, do your best to, if you're going to drop any, don't spread fake news. Make sure it's verified. Someone sent me, when someone had seen a video of yesterday's, people going out yesterday, she sent it to me and said, is this true? Is this recent? And I looked at the face mask and I checked out that video was already on some verified handles. I said, yes, it's confirmed. So ensure that the news you're spreading is not fake. All right? We'll take this short recess. And when we get back, we have an interview with Joe Kachi Benson. You don't want to miss that.
Hello and welcome back. Now, Joel Kachi Benson is an award-winning filmmaker, someone who's passionate about stories and has been making documentary stories for over a decade. He also picked up an award for his virtual reality documentary, The Daughters of Chibok, at the Venice Film Festival. And he's on the line right now. Good morning, Kachi.
Hi, good morning. All
right, so it's great to have you on the line with us. How have you been? Talk to us.
How have I been since the lockdown, right?
Of course.
Well, yeah, hanging in there, trying to stay sane and safe at the same time.
All right, the lockdown affects different people in different walks of life differently. The fact that you've not been able to really do as much work, obviously, as you usually would, how have you been able to work from home as other people are?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of post-production work that we've been doing from home, my team and I. So we meet regularly on Zoom to talk about stuff. But more importantly, I think for us, it was really a case of how do we stay creative and stay productive despite the lockdown. So what we decided to do is to sort of document how the lockdown is impacting people and the society. So we've actually been quite busy. We made a pivot of some sort, to create content around how it's impacting people and just make out these little short stories that we've been sharing online.
Okay, so when you say short stories, are you talking about actual stories of real people or Like, is it more newsy or more documentary-like?
No, it's more documentary. So, for instance, one of the stories that we did was around the issue of going to church, and you have so many Christians in Lagos, and now you can't go to church. So, what do you do? A health worker who works on the front line, taking care of COVID-19 patients. So those are like little stories that we've been doing, just asking questions and seeing how the lockdown is impacting on people. It's a strange time in our history. I don't know if we're ever going to see anything like this again. The last time the world saw something like this was in 1918, right? The span. So yeah, I think it's important to document this time. I mean, from a documentary point of view. So.
And I have to say thank you for doing that. Thank you for documenting it with such detail. Speaking of documenting it, what method are you using? We're familiar with your 3D virtual reality method that you use for Daughters of Chibok, but are you using anything similar to this for the newer versions?
Well, no. I mean, before I started making virtual reality content, I was making regular, 2D content. So I still do make 2D content. Because of the speed that we wanted to bring out these stories, we just felt it would be more convenient to just use 2D. And we also wanted to be able to get to a lot of people. So, till now, I mean, the big challenge with virtual reality is, ability to reach mass markets. And we didn't want that to be a hindrance to the story. So, I mean, we're still going to tell a story in VR about this time, but for now, we're just using regular 2D to tell the stories.
Well, no matter the medium you're using, I know it's about capturing the right emotion. So which emotion do you think you've come in contact with the most? Is it fear? Is it denial? Or is it just general acceptance?
That's a very good question. I mean, the emotions have been varied depending on the story that we're trying to tell. So, for instance, the first one we did, which was around the lockdown itself, there was a lot of fear and there was a lot of anger as well. People were asking questions about, you want us to dig in for 2 weeks, what provisions have been made. Then for the one about the vigilantes, there was also a lot of anger as well. Like, we have to rise up and protect ourselves. We cannot sit down and allow people to just come and take away the little that we have. So it's a wide range of emotions that you encounter. Every story comes with its own uniqueness, right? So, yeah, there's anger, there's fear, there's hope, there's disillusion, there's acceptance. Like you said, the pandemic and the lockdown is affecting different people in different ways. But I guess at the end of the day, really, it's about staying safe and having hope that all this will pass, and life will return to, a new normal.
Right. Thank you so much for that. To wrap up, I just want to wrap up by asking this. Were you afraid at all going out there, literally going onto the front lines yourself with your camera? Were you afraid of getting infected yourself?
I don't think I was afraid. No. It was about caution. Be cautious, don't be reckless. But I mean, my biggest fear really was not being able to do anything. I think I was more afraid of just being idle, not doing anything, than going out. So being able to have the privilege to go out and document the stories, even stories of people who were receiving aid, from the government, from NGOs. I felt it was a privilege.
Thank you so much, Kachi, for talking to us today. We appreciate you and everything you do, and we can't wait to see those masterpieces when they're done.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Kachi Benson there, an intensely creative individual, We have to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of the show today. Big thank you also to our friends at Homely NG for providing us kitchen accessories. Now, we know that the kitchen in here hasn't been used as much as possible, but hopefully we'll be opening that up soon enough when all this blows over. We are so happy that you tuned in today, and we're going to be here again receiving you from 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Definitely.
Now,
Definitely.
it's always
we'll
a pleasure. Mike is in the kitchen.
It's going to be a great show tomorrow at the same time. Joining and be a part. Thank you for being a part of this. Your social media engagement was wonderful today. Keep it coming tomorrow and for the rest of the week. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.